This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
We had a woman call us and said, hey, I jumped in the shower and I was not around when you announced the number one appliance in your house that sucks up a lot of electricity. Okay, well, that's the air conditioner and or the heater.
Unless you're Angel Martinez.
Yeah, Angel spends $60 a month on electricity.
Before running the AC.
Okay, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know how you do it, but congratulations. What do you have, 9 square feet there? What do you got going?
Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, so you moved to a bigger place.
I did. Thank you for noticing.
Does your bird like it cold?
My bird loves it cold. Loves it.
All right. Very good. All right. Americans are spending less on travel. That's not evident when you go to the airport. Every plane is full, and there's no really room to stretch out on airplanes anymore. But it says here we're traveling less as Americans.
AAA Senior Vice President of Travel, Paula Twindale, is joining us now to talk a little bit more about this. So we had been talking about how after the pandemic, there was all this pent-up need to travel, and people didn't care about inflation. They needed to get out.
That's right.
So if the TSA broke travel records in July, what has executives worried that the travel industry is slowing?
Summer travel is winding down, but unfortunately, cost of goods and services are not. So there's less discretionary spending available for people today.
You know what? I don't believe that. I hate to say this, that I'm not calling them liars. I'm getting close. I went to the Glendale Galleria on Saturday. It took me 45 minutes to find a parking spot. Every level was full. Every spot was full. And then when you walk around the Galleria in Glendale, you have to be conscious of walking because you'll hit 9 people on your way from one store to another. I've never seen so many people at a mall in my life. And everybody, I noticed this, every single person had bags with them. Around their arms, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. Everyone's buying stuff.
And we've talked about how bad the surge of COVID's been this summer, and that can only happen when people are milling with each other.
Yeah. And people are angry in the parking lot.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh, my God. This woman almost ran into me with her car, and she was yelling at me, and I don't like to get involved with stuff like that. I don't. That's not the way I'm going to go out, fighting over a parking spot. But, man, I think that people, I don't know where they're getting the money from, but they got it. These malls are packed on weekends. Absolutely packed. And I do understand that it's the week that school starts. The first week is over. So you're going to buy clothes or supplies, whatever the kids need for the next, weeks or a couple months of school. But I've never seen that many people at a mall in my life. Never. Ever.
And, people are booked for the fall, and cruises have been the real winners for that value proposition, especially Alaska and Caribbean. So
you're a cruiser, right, Crows? You love the cruises?
It's been a bit, but I do like cruising, sure, yeah.
I got to get on one of these things. I would love to go.
We still have a lot of people traveling, but the bookings going further out having a little softening.
What are the trends that you're noticing, and then why? What are people really looking for?
She just told you. You weren't listening?
Yeah.
The bookings going further out having a little softening.
Okay, the bookings going out, a little soft, people aren't buying. And then the very next question.
What are the trends that you're noticing?
She just told you. She told you.
The bookings going further out having a little softening.
Boom. And then the question?
What are the trends that you're noticing?
That's a woman that's not listening.
When they book a vacation now, both domestically and internationally.
Sure. Like I said, cruises are very popular.
Like I said.
Like I said. As I said.
That's great.
Once again.
Like I said, which translates loosely to I just told you. I just told you.
Sure. Like I said,
Like I said. That's great.
cruises are very popular. AAA is up 12% year over year. A lot of them are being booked because your lodging, your meals, your transportation is the value added. It's all rolled into one. And you can kind of control your spending. Travel agents are there to help those cost-conscious consumers make those decisions for the best value added. Maybe take advantage of the shoulder and low season prices. So people are still traveling. Why don't you think that they're not traveling? They're just making different decisions to make it affordable.
There you go. Hey, I had somebody email me saying that Courtney Wayne is a very funny comic who's going to be at Morongo. And so I looked him up, and he's born in 1987, worked with a lot of funny comics. He's going to be at Morongo. Let me look up the exact date for you, so you have to do that yourself. On September 7th at Morongo. Courtney Wayne. Kountry. Is that
Country Wayne?
Country Wayne. Sorry.
Country Wayne.
Country Wayne. Sorry, I said County Wayne. Country Wayne. Country Wayne will be there live September 7th. Country Wayne at Morongo, September 7th.
He's actually really good. He does a lot of skits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what they say. He's got a lot of videos out there that are very funny. Now, let's do a quick whip around. Can we do that? A quick whip around? All right, here's the whip around. How many kids did he have before age 22?
Courtney Wayne?
Yeah, Courtney
No, Country Wayne. Country Wayne.
Country Wayne.
Country Wayne.
Country Wayne, take me home. Country Wayne, how many kids before age 22? Steph-O-Roni Tony.
4.
4. Crow.
Ooh, I was going to say 4. Nice one. I'll say 3.
3. Bellio. 8. Wow.
Away.
All right. Angel.
9.
9. You all missed it. I nailed it. It was the actual answer is
So did Country Wayne.
Country Wayne is the father of 10 children, but 7 of which he had before he was 22.
Yoicks in a way.
22?
So before he was 22, that I call that 21, he had 7 children.
Whoa.
It's a number that I can't even get my head around.
Dad, what a house. And look, I'm a big fan of the more kids, the better. If I do it all over again, I'd have 10 kids. I would do it in a heartbeat. But he had 7 kids before he was 22. Oh, and also he's a vegan. And doesn't smoke and doesn't drink.
Oh, are all those things related?
I don't know. Not sure. And he also is a big fan, Croge, Cowboys.
Thank you very much.
Big Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Grew up in Georgia. Huge Cowboys fan. So go see Country Wayne, September 7th at Morongo. Ding dong with that guy.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
We got a nice call from Rosalinda. She wanted to know what the appliance was in the house that uses the most electricity. And we told her the air conditioner and the heater, mostly the air conditioner.
Well, really, what did you initially tell her?
She had called and she said, I had to step in the shower. I couldn't hear the appliance that takes the most electricity. I said, it's the electric can opener. And she goes, oh, really? I said, yeah, electric can opener. She goes, no, I don't believe that. I said, no, it's the air conditioner, of course. So Rosalinda, big, huge KFI fan. And I said, yeah, call me anytime you got any questions. And she goes, what's your name? I said, Chris Little, Newsroom. She goes, okay. All right.
Do people still have electric can openers?
We have one.
Really?
Yeah.
God, man, I don't know why. It just seems like something that, I don't know.
Cavemen have?
Yeah, it just seems like a big bulky thing.
Like something on the Brady Bunch?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, how do you open your cans?
With a can opener?
You have a manual one?
Yeah.
Speaking of cavemen.
Yeah, exactly.
You open it with your teeth?
It's in a drawer, though. I mean, where do you keep your electric can opener? On the
On
counter?
the big-ass counter, yeah.
It just seems like a waste of space.
It does seem like a waste of space.
You
and
could put it in the cabinet.
Yeah, you could.
And then you got to take it out and plug it in.
And then that that fang that opens the can, you can never really get it stuck under there and open it properly. So it's like, I hate it. But yeah, and they're always like $19 whenever you go to buy an electric can opener for some reason. $19. But we have one. You have one, Bellion? Electric can opener?
Yep.
Yeah, because you cook or John cooks. Who cooks more in your house? You or John, your husband?
John.
A lot more?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. What's he make? What's his special? He's Italian, right?
Yeah, his sauce, his pasta sauce, his pasta. He makes great steaks. He makes great salads. Yeah.
Will you bring some pasta sauce in one day?
You got it,
all right.
kid.
Because I brought all those granola bars in that you guys didn't like.
Yeah, could you stop bringing that stale stuff and the stuff that you can't stand and go, oh, I brought this in for the crew. Help yourself. I'm like, oh, my God, this stuff is like gross.
Bellio always accuses me of only bringing stuff in for the crew that's either expired or stuff I don't like.
And you're going to tell me that's not accurate? Go ahead, tell me that.
I'm not going to tell you that, but I was hoping you didn't notice.
Well, I noticed. Maybe others didn't notice.
I brought those cans of Coca-Cola and those weren't expired.
They were flat.
You didn't S all over those while you were throwing them down your throat, one after another. Just go.
Okay.
Busting that can on your head and throwing it out.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Kamala Harris was not expected to speak until Thursday at the DNC. Thursday was going to be her big speech, after winning the nomination, after sweeping the nation, getting all the votes. And so she wasn't supposed to speak until Thursday. Yet, she made a surprise appearance just now at the DNC. She only spoke for 1:25 seconds, so let's see what she had to say.
Historic leadership for your lifetime of service to our nation. And
she's talking about Joe Biden. She's, we're getting ramped up for the big Joe Biden speech, and she's talking about President Joe Biden.
Historic leadership for your lifetime of service to our nation and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. And looking out at everyone tonight, thank you, Joe. I see the beauty of our great nation.
Yeah.
People from every corner of our country and every walk of life are here, united by our shared vision for the future of our country. And this November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. Thank you, Joe. Optimism, hope, and faith, so guided by our love of country, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Let us fight for the ideals we hold dear. When we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Joe.
That is actually a surprise appearance by Vice President.
Yeah, surprise appearance today. A surprise. All right, Phil Donahue passed away. He was great. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1935, I believe. And my dad knew him. They're both from Cleveland. And I remember when Phil Donahue got married, it was supposed to be this big Hollywood wedding. Marlo Thomas was his wife, and they were going to have this big, huge, fantastic Hollywood wedding. Two big movers and shakers from Hollywood. And then 2 or 3 days, I can't remember the timing on this, but 2 or 3 days before they got married, Mount St. Helens in Washington blew. And that was the only news story all week. And everybody missed the big Phil Donahue, Marlo Thomas wedding. That I do remember that.
Before Oprah, there was Phil Donahue.
Yeah.
Donahue, which ran on daytime television for 29 years, was the first talk show to include an audience as part of the show.
What should we do with the TV off and not buy the record?
It featured a wide variety of guests covering everything from politics.
They believe that the United States government is prepared to usurp the Constitution and break down doors and confiscate guns. Am I lying to these people, Bob Fletcher and Jim Trockman?
To entertainment.
What's the chronology of Outrageous Fortune and walking away from Cheers? I mean, was Outrageous Fortune out and successful when you quit Cheers?
To civil rights.
Mr. Violenti, we needed your voice following this arrest to stand up and say, this kind of behavior has got to stop. Tell me why that's not a fair question.
Donahue grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and began his career in TV and radio in the 1950s. His talk show premiered in Dayton, Ohio in 1967 and tackled serious issues. In 1985, the show moved to New York City, where it became a ratings juggernaut and led the way for a new genre of daytime programming.
He was the king. He started that whole daytime talk show. The audience got involved. He was the trendsetter when it comes to that.
Insatiably curious and accepting, he saw every guest as worthy of interest and worked to build understanding, bringing us to see each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans.
Just 3 months ago, Donahue was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Donahue's wife of 44 years, actress Marlo Thomas, was at his bedside when he died, along with his children from a previous marriage. Donahue won 20 Emmy Awards in his career. Oprah herself once saying, quote, "If there had been no Phil Donahue show, there would be no Oprah Winfrey show."
Wow, that's a huge compliment. Major compliment. That's great. Phil Donahue. What a guy.
Even as like a kid, he was one of those guys. I discovered him like when I was sick from school and The Price is Right and right around that whole little thing, middle of the day. Every once in a while I came across it, and he was one of the first guys that got me into the whole idea of like talk and
that's cool.
Talk shows and to talk radio and such. Yeah.
The only time you ever saw Phil Donahue is either over the summer or when you were dying.
Yeah.
When you were sick at home with the flu.
Yep.
You watched, only had 3 stations, and one of them was, Phil Donahue. But what a long, great, successful life that man lived. Born in 1935 and passed away.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, man, we covered a lot today. Yeah, shoplifting, that's a big deal. From 7-Eleven's, Phil Donahue passed away. That's sad. If you're a big Phil Donahue fan, maybe you grew up with Phil. Kamala Harris made a surprise appearance at the DNC. We played you the audio of that. You're welcome. Americans are traveling less. And I don't know where people are saying the economy is in the toilet. If you go to any mall, they're packed all the time. It's tough to find a parking spot. And so we covered a lot today. The yacht that sank off the coast of Italy, Bellio and her syphilis home testing idea that got ripped off by somebody else, skyrocketing electric bills. And so we covered a lot, We almost covered too much, because we cover that much in a day, then they expect us next day to cover as much. And it gets tiresome. So we covered a lot. A lot. Johnny Wactor, he was the guy in General Hospital who was working at a bar downtown, walked to his car. Some 3 or 4 guys were trying to steal his catalytic converter. He approached him. They shot him and killed him on the spot. And there was arrest last week in that case. Last week. And George Gascon, the DA, had a press conference to announce the charges.
We're here to announce today that we have filed charges against 4 individuals connected with the events surrounding the tragic death of Johnny Wactor. I want to first of all thank the LAPD, LAPD Central Bureau Detectives, homicide detectives, and the entire police department for the work they did in this case. This was a difficult case, and I know there was a lot of work that was done in order to get us here today. Thank you. The 4 defendants in this case are Robert Barcelo and Sergio Estrada. They have each been charged with 1 count of murder, 1 count of attempted robbery, and grand theft. Leonel Gutierrez has been charged with attempted robbery and grand theft. The 3 defendants also face special allegations and aggravated circumstances of using a firearm in the commission of these crimes, and Mr. Barcelo also faces a special circumstances for murder during an attempted robbery. If convicted, Mr. Barcelo will be facing a life sentence without possibility of parole.
Wow.
Finally, Frank Olano has been charged with accessory to murder and receiving stolen property and 3 counts of being a felon with a firearm. On the morning of May 25, 2004, Johnny Wactor and his co-worker Anita Joy were walking to their cars after finishing their shift at the...
Wait, when did this happen?
On the morning of May 25, 2004, Johnny...
It seems like that date's wrong.
On the morning of May 25, 2004, Johnny...
Yeah, I think it's 2024. I think that happened this year. I think he just messed up the date.
On the morning of May 25, 2004, Johnny Wactor and his co-worker Anita Joy were walking to their cars after finishing their shift at the Moxie Hotel. As they approached their vehicle on Hope Street near Pico Boulevard, Johnny discovered that his car was being tampered with. As he approached his vehicle, he approached the vehicle, saw the 3 suspects. Mr. Barcelo allegedly shot Johnny in the chest, taking his life. This cowardly act led to the loss of a son, a brother, and a friend too many.
It's horrible.
The loss of this talented young actor who was in the prime of his life and has so much to offer to the world. It's deeply felt by all of us. Mr. Wactor's work and presence touch the lives of many in our hearts, and our hearts go out to their family, friends, and the entire community who mourn the devastating loss. I want to thank the Deputy District Attorneys from my Major Crimes Division who work in this case. They also work relentless to be able to be here today.
And by the way, congratulations to all of Johnny Wactor's friends, co-workers, fellow actors. You kept that in the news. You kept up with the marches, the signs, and the pressure. And thank God that you did that, because these guys may not have been arrested without that kind of pressure. And you kept it in the public eye, so you did a great job. His fellow actors, friends, family, you did a sensational job for this young man in keeping that story alive and keeping his death alive too.
And I also want to thank our Bureau of Victim Services, and the dedicated victim service representatives who are currently working with the family and providing the resources that they need. I recognize that these charges are all but a small consolation to Mr. Wactor's friends and families. I hope that not only the charges being brought, but the support that we can continue to provide through our Bureau of Victim Services will continue to offer a small measure of comfort during these difficult times.
I don't know a lot about district attorneys and, their role in keeping crime down. But I do know that when you slap people on the wrist for stealing catalytic converters, that they will continue doing it. And maybe, just maybe, if there was a stronger punishment initially for some of these guys, maybe that kid would be alive. Maybe Johnny would be alive today. Certainly possible. Certainly possible. All right. Don't forget tonight, Joe Biden's speech at the DNC. And then Kamala Harris is expected to speak on Thursday and accept the nomination with her big speech. Right now, Hillary Clinton is on stage live in Chicago. Hillary Clinton is speaking as we speak here. And don't forget also, 9 a.m. tomorrow to 1 p.m., Gary and Shannon in Chicago inside the United Arena for United Airlines Arena, I think it is what it's called, live. So 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow, live from Chicago. And you get the latest on what's going on with the Democratic National Convention. All right, Mo Kelly is coming up next with his whole crew right here on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.